You learned early that attention was dangerous. Not because someone said it out loud, but because every time you took up space, the room shifted. Eyes hardened, energy tightened. Silence became safer than expression. So you adapted. You became observant, still, controlled. You learned to read micro expressions before sentences. You learned when to speak, and more importantly, when not to. And for a long time, that saved you. It kept you out of conflict. It kept you from embarrassment. It kept you emotionally intact. But now, something strange is happening. You walk into rooms and people don't quite see you. They talk over you. They test you. They feel oddly comfortable, disrespecting your time, your boundaries, your presence, even though you haven't done anything wrong. And the paradox is brutal. The quiet strength that once protected you is now the very thing that makes others underestimate you. You don't lack intelligence. You don't lack depth. You don't lack character. What you lack is signal. Because respect is not granted by silence alone, it is granted by contained presence. And right now, your nervous system is broadcasting one message. I am safe to overlook. This video is not about becoming loud. It's not about dominance. It's not about pretending to be someone else. It's about understanding the invisible psychology of respect and reclaiming the gravity you are always meant to carry. Let's name what's actually happening. You are not too quiet. You are not too nice. You are not lacking confidence. You are experiencing learned social minimization, a nervous system level adaptation rooted in hypervigilance. Hypervigilance occurs when the brain learns that being noticed leads to threat, emotional, social, or psychological. So instead of expressing freely, the mind shifts into constant monitoring. You become a sentinel, always watching, always measuring, always regulating. Neurologically, this rewires the default mode network, the system responsible for self-referential thought. Instead of asking, what do I want to express? Your brain asks, how will this be received? That split between inner truth and outer expression creates a subtle collapse of presence. People don't consciously detect it, but their nervous systems do. Because respect is not logical, it's somatic. Humans subconsciously assess posture, stillness, eye contact, pauses, response timing, emotional containment. When you minimize, your body communicates permission to intrude. This is also linked to avoidant or anxious avoidant attachment, where self-expression was once paired with withdrawal, ridicule, or emotional unpredictability. So you learned, if I stay neutral, I stay safe. But neutrality doesn't command respect. Grounded certainty does. Think of presence like gravity. It doesn't chase. It doesn't convince. It simply is. Right now, your gravity is dispersed not because you're weak, but because you've been holding yourself together too tightly for too long. This is the invisible grief no one talks about. The grief of being emotionally intact, but socially unseen. You sacrifice authenticity for belonging, again and again. In small moments that add up, you let jokes slide that sting. You allow interruptions that drain you. You shrink reactions so others stay comfortable. And slowly, something erodes. Not your kindness, not your intelligence, your self-trust. Carl Jung once said, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. Because when you were younger, accepting yourself didn't feel safe. So you became adjustable. But here's the cost. Every time you swallow a response, your body learns. My presence is optional, and the world listens. The core fear underneath this isn't confrontation. It's not rejection. It's being exposed without protection. Because respect requires visibility. And visibility once meant danger. So even calm moments become tense. Even casual conversations feel like performances. Even silence feels heavy, not peaceful. This is the philosophical weight of the silent sentinel. To be deeply aware, but rarely felt. To understand others, but rarely be understood. To be safe, but not fully alive. Let's get specific. These are coping strategies, not personality flaws. You might speak softly, but think intensely, then feel frustrated when others miss your depth. Wait too long to assert boundaries, then resent people for crossing them? Over-explain when you finally speak, because you've been holding back too long. Attract dominant or dismissive personalities, not because you like them, but because your nervous system is familiar with adapting. Appear calm, while internally exhausted from constant self-monitoring. Feel respected in theory, but not in practice. People say you're nice, but don't defer to you. Here's the truth that changes everything. Respect is not about volume. It's about emotional certainty. People respect those who seem unmoved by approval. And right now, your silence isn't neutral, it's appeasing. Unlearning begins with witnessing, not forcing. You stop asking, how do I make them respect me? And start asking, where did I learn to disappear? When you name the pattern, you stop gaslighting yourself. You realize you're not invisible. You're withholding signal, and signals can be recalibrated. Healing does not mean becoming louder. It means becoming settled. It means practicing still eye contact, slower responses, fewer explanations, grounded pauses, neutral facial composure, deliberate movement. These are not tactics. They are nervous system reparenting. Inner child reparenting teaches the body. It is safe to be seen now. Shadow work invites back the parts of you that learn to hide, not to dominate, but to stand. Respect grows when you stop over-accommodating emotional chaos. When you allow silence to be yours, not defensive. When your presence says, I'm not rushing, I'm not chasing, I'm not shrinking. Philosopher Baruch Spinoza believed, the more you struggle to live, the less you live. Respect emerges when effort dissolves. And here's the final truth. You were never meant to earn respect by disappearing. You earn it by arriving calmly, fully, without apology. You don't need to be fixed. You don't need to perform. You need to occupy your own space again. And when you do, the room adjusts. If this resonated, share it with someone who has been quietly carrying the same weight. And subscribe not to become louder, but to become whole.